Medieval monks in hooded bathrobes once held dead, serious theological debates on whether lionesses count as pro-life champions. Sit with that shame spiral for 5 seconds while I count the ways Christianity fell down a zoological rabbit hole. Because yes, 12th century priests whispered over candlelit manuscripts that lions literally commit postpartum infanticide and must religiously resurrect their cubs. Imagine Saint Augustine side-eyeing a safari park like, "The Lion King needs a redemption arc." Here's your cursed theology in one sentence. If God allegedly let lions lick dead cubs alive as natural miracles, do lionesses technically count as abortionists who undo their own mistakes? Clergy in flea-infested tunics wrote thousands of words comparing cub resurrection to Jesus bailing out humanity. Press X to doubt their grip on basic biology. This madness traces back to Pliny the Elder's Natural History, ancient Rome's version of chain-mail copypasta, where some drunk scribe hallucinated stillborn cubs magically revived after 3 days of motherly tongue baths. Early Christians licked this up like feral cats on catnip. Why? Because they wanted Jesus to be the ultimate Lion King Simba allegory. The Lion of Judah wasn't symbolic. They thought corpses licked by divine tongues would gloriously Nayum back to existence. Monastic Twitter would have trended hashtags like Holy Spit Revival. Now soak in the nightmare these monks debated instead of curing plague. Could human women learn necro-licking resurrection from maternity-adjacent predators? The answer: no. Only Jesus-related species get out-of-death-free cards. Which means they spent taxpayer-funded INK arguing whether big cats qualify for divine intervention loopholes. It's the medieval equivalent of Elon Musk tweeting "delete death" at veterinarians. Darkest twist: they weaponized dead lion cubs against pagans. St. Jerome venomously wrote that lionesses mourn their stillborns, like proper Christian mothers should, unlike heathens who gasp practice contraception. Yes, clueless monks made glorified alley cats their anti-abortion propaganda. Meanwhile, real lions occasionally snacked on actual monks like Crunch Wrap Supremes. Poetic justice tastes delicious. Your WTF moment of existential dread. Pope Innocent Roman III once mentioned in Sunday brunch sermons that lion-cub resurrection prefigured Jesus. Just as the lion is reborn, so too will TikTok dancers find salvation. I wish I was joking. The entire Vatican essentially shipped Aslan from Narnia with the Holy Trinity. Half the clergy thought biblical lions had shapeshifting powers, because Revelation says Jesus morphs into a lion-lamb hybrid. Medieval cat memes depicted Christ as Jesus/lion/CUB like a holy version of Deadpool's chimichanga obsession, blended with Caitlyn Jenner's profile pic. Every cathedral gargoyle side-eyed their theology degree that semester. And this is why my ex-wife Karen, who sells essential pyramid scheme oils to balance lioness resurrection chakras, is less delusional than anyone who thought savanna predators upheld Virgin Mary-approved maternity ethics. Lions, the original pro-life poster children until they bite your face off, which they did, often. Benedictine monks kept taming lions as a hobby until their skulls became chew toys. Saintly suffering never smelled so much like wet cat fur and regret. The sheer mental gymnastics required to twist Psalm 104's "Young lions seek their prey from God" into a divine endorsement of feline mouth-to-cub resuscitation would make Simone Biles' bloodbath an overtime shift. Aristotle, who confused squid tentacles for aquatic mustaches, scribbled in his pseudoscience fanfic that lion cubs emerged as inert as Trojan prank gift horses. Medieval monks whose only field research involved collecting shed fur from tapestries treated this like gospel truth. Literally. 1st century encyclopedist Pliny the Elder, before he got volcanoed during Vesuvius' TikTok debut, doubled down claiming lioness saliva contained resurrection enzymes. This got mashed with Psalm 68's line about the Lord tongue bringing justice, until theologians concluded, if God invented salvation via holy spit, then lion moms were basically furry midwives of Christ. Saint Augustine spent paragraphs comparing Jesus' lazier miracles to Felis Domini performing nightly lycathons. The entire early church taxonomy ranked beasts by biblical utility. Lions became VIPs, while walruses got demoted to God's aquatic blunders. Cut to 13th century Dominican scholars attempting theological calculus. If lionesses gestate dead cubs for 3 days before holy jizz spit reanimation, doesn't that parallel Christ's tomb vacation? Answer: obviously. They even argued Noah's Ark contained miniature lioness nurseries for post-flood spit baptisms. Contemporary bestiaries depicted lion families using their own blood to paint crucifixion scenes. My ex-academic rival Chadwick, who now sells CBD lion tinctures on Etsy, once argued during a faculty mixer that this proved lions evolved from seraphim who fell from grace but kept the resurrection riz. Tenure committees exist to prevent this level of weaponized stupidity. The crowning turd blossom. Vincent of Beauvais' Speculum Maius Encyclopedia. This 13th century incel of science barely knew how buttons worked, yet dedicated 6 chapters to Felis Reformatio theology. He claimed lionesses' womb decomposed the cub's flesh into sacred Play-Doh before tongue sculpting, making them nature's taxidermists. Meanwhile, actual lions kept gnawing on pilgrim femurs like cosmic payback. Modern analogy. Imagine Logan Paul doing Bible commentary while strapped to Elon Musk's Neuralink. Theologians had zero verification tools beyond counting their own nose hairs, yet spawned entire treatises arguing that if lions could tongue-activate cubs, surely human stillbirths should be licked like theological scratch-off tickets. Manuscript marginalia show monks debating whether salvia liqueus sacraments invalidated baptism by water, except nobody volunteered to test this by French-kissing a dead baby. Morality occasionally trolled faith surprise. Here's your existential crisis candy. Wikipedia-grade researchers today still cite Vincent's drool doctrine as colorful medieval zoology. Humanity treats verification like an OnlyFans subscription. We know it exists, just can't be bothered to pay for it. So next time someone claims TikTok chiropractors cure scoliosis through asthma lion roars, remember, your ancestors unironically shipped clerics who thought panthers smelled like Jesus' foot fungus confirmation. History's just humanity beta testing the flat earth DLC forever. By 1440, this feline fanfiction metastasized faster than syphilis in a crusader camp. Monasteries became meme factories pumping out illustrated bestiaries where lions looked like Muppets with scoliosis. Copyists added fun facts like tigers weeping over dead hunters, blatant projection from illiterate monks who cried into their mead when unable to spell cathedral. Modern parallel. QAnon moms sharing Minions memes about adrenochrome harvests. Same energy as Albertus Magnus claiming leopard spots were God's QR codes for identifying sinners. Neither can distinguish metaphor from meth head delusion. The Vatican even declared lion resurrection dogma after some knuckle-dragging troglodyte linked it to Jesus' 3-day cave hiatus. Suddenly, every stillborn kitten became a theological bat signal. Quick, fetch the archbishop's tongue. Pause and comment. Which big cat would make the worst midwife? Cheetahs. Built like anxious greyhounds, they'd abandon your cub to chase Uber Eats delivery gazelles. Then Pliny the Elder crash-landed into this nonsense like a drunken uncle at a wedding. His Natural History claimed basilisks could kill lions with a stare implying medieval zoology was just Pokemon fanfic. Imagine Twitter threads debating whether Charizard could beat Godzilla while actual biologists sob into their pipettes. The kicker, Aristotle called bullshit. In History of Animals, he accurately described placental births like a rational human, but 12th century theologians put him in the same fake news category as guys claiming the moon was cheese. Sound familiar? Same cognitive dissonance fuel that makes Karens deny vaccines while selling detox stickers made of printer toner. My third ex-wife bought into this, spent $200 on healing tiger eye crystals, while our actual cat died of diabetes. Humanity's greatest pandemic, voluntary critical thinking deficiency. We'd rather believe in Targaryen dragon logistics than admit most facts are just peer-approved gossip. Witness the Hereford Mappa Mundi, a 13th century Google Maps where lions birthing via tongue baths share screen space with cannibal pygmies and Jesus-armored knights. It's the medieval version of LinkedIn conspiracists posting about 5G chemtrails between job rejections. And the escalation never stops. By 1486, the Nuremberg Chronicle depicted lionesses with maternity ward tongues like fleshy bungee cords. Meanwhile, actual lion populations collapsed from being hunted as allegorical merch killed so nobles could have Jesus lion rugs beside their adultery beds. So when anti-vaxxers claim horse dewormer cures COVID faster than Pfizer's devil juice, same circus, different clowns. We've upgraded from illuminated manuscripts to Instagram infographics, but our brains still marinate in confirmation bias sauerkraut. Fast forward to Vatican archivists stuffing their faces with communion wine while compiling Liber Monstrorum, an 8th century BuzzFeed listicle of top 10 creatures your priest says are real. Their bestiaries weren't science books. They were medieval shitposts with better calligraphy. Picture a tonsured incel like Thomas Aquinas debating leopard spot metaphysics, while actual lepers decomposed outside his window. Classic divinity student behavior prioritizing theoretical resurrection techniques over basic fucking hygiene. In Codex Urbinus Latinus 276, you'll find the apex of this cognitive dumpster fire. Clergymen earnestly arguing whether lion saliva could reboot a human corpse like a desiccated Tamagotchi. No kidding, the same guys who banned cadaver dissection wrote 50 pages on whether God's perfect design included built-in feline mouth-to-mouth. Their logic: if virgin birth works, why not battery jump resurrection? 8 centuries later, Silicon Valley venture capitalists make identical leaps trying to disrupt death by freezing their disembodied heads in Arizona warehouses. The ultimate facepalm erupts in the Rossano Gospel's margin art, Jesus chilling in a man cave lion den like a passive-aggressive zookeeper. He's not saving souls. He's micromanaging a lioness giving chest compressions to a stillborn cub, as 2 apostles take notes like overcaffeinated EMT interns. Verily I say unto thee, Brosif, the trick is circular motions with the tongue. Meanwhile, Jerusalem's actual hospitals used donkey piss as antiseptic. Imagine WebMD telling you to gargle labradoodle drool for COVID. By 1318, Pope John Roman XXII commissioned bestiaries showing saints practicing spiritual zoology, which is just a fancy term for dying from infected lion bites while attempting interspecies baptism. Modern equivalent: those idiots who crawl into Yellowstone for TikTok hot spring selfies. The Vatican's own Wild Kingdom phase peaked at the Council of Vienne, deliberating whether resurrected humans would need diapers if revived via feline CPR. Answer: maybe. But damn sure they'd require therapy. Now observe the Maastricht Hours illuminations, basically 14th century deviant art where martyr lion lickings resemble poorly animated furry yiff scenes. St. Ignatius isn't being martyred. He's getting an awkwardly moist tongue bath from a lion clearly questioning its life choices. Yet priests treated these illustrations as forensic evidence. Same energy as QAnon nerds analyzing Bigfoot pixels in satellite photos between jerking off to Lara Croft. So next time your uncle claims essential oils cure cancer, remember, humanity's highest institutions once spent gross domestic product on treatises about whether lion spit could out-miracles Jesus. We don't research facts, we crowdsource hallucinations and call them canon. Now, if you'll excuse me, my dealer just restocked Colombian espresso beans, and I've got a burning need to forget this entire species exists. Hold my absinthe while I autopsy this dumpster fire of medieval mindset. Picture theologians high on Gutenberg-era clickbait, analyzing lion cub resuscitation, like horny fanboys dissecting Marvel plot holes. Observe the sacred cats detoxing corpses. They screeched, forcing Psalm 104 purified through fire bullshit onto nature like Elon Musk, rebranding Twitter toxicity as free speech summer camp. Pro tip: When your scripture-to-science ratio resembles Andrew Tate explaining quantum physics while fist-bumping a taxidermied chimp, you've entered clown college territory. Now enter the pelican. Avian Jesus meets symptomatic anemia. These featherbrained bestiaries claimed mothers literally shanked their own jugulars to feed chicks during lean times. Reality: they barf up fish guts with the elegance of a frat bro power-slurping oysters at a Trump fundraiser. But Crusade-era dipshits went full QAnon with the symbolism. Clearly this bird's unhinged TED talk means blood sacrifice. Soon you've got cathedral murals depicting stabby pelicans looking like jackass, rejects at a Renaissance fairs, self-harm Olympics. The Vatican called it a touching metaphor for Christ's suffering. Zoologists called it proof humanity peaked as single-celled organisms. Then there's the hyena gender-shifting farce, basically medieval turf weaponizing Leviticus while ignoring actual biology. Imagine Jordan Peterson screech-analyzing Animal Crossing villagers for woke agenda, and you're halfway to understanding this theological shitshow. Churches canonized these zoological fanfictions faster than Andrew Tate selling alpha male NFTs to incels. Fast forward to your Aunt Brenda sharing Facebook memes about celebrity satanic pancake parlors. She's spiritually identical to those monks trading gold for sacred mongoose toe rings guaranteed to prevent demonic flatulence. Every Minions meme about 5G microchip orgies. That's just lion tongue Windex reborn as digital mind rot. Our ancestors would have traded their plague-ridden corpses for TikTok's sweet misinformation buffet. Final brain poison. Trying to turn nature into theology is like Kevin Costner trying to keep his Yellowstone ranch intact through 6 seasons of histrionic incest drama. The Duttons have better narrative cohesion than your entire species' collective critical thinking. Smash subscribe before I manifest as the sleep paralysis demon auditing your search history.